Welcome to AAAP.
I think AAAP has been an outstanding part of my career development, both as an addiction psychiatrist and just as a physician in general. I think it's an outstanding place to find support, to learn about the field of addiction psychiatry and learn about ways to practice in addiction psychiatry, as well as figuring out your own niche and how you can contribute to the field. I just feel very fortunate to have found AAAP and to continue to be a part of the organization.
It's amazing. I mean, you know, as a fellow, as a young psychiatrist, it was a chance to see people who are doing what we wanted to be doing. It was a chance to see Dr. Francis, a chance to see, what kind of leaders in our field, and a chance to be among them in this small meeting, and then a chance for us to get to know each other and have dinners, and then ultimately when we had little kids, it was a chance for us to bring our kids.
AAAP is basically like Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. After going to my first annual meeting, I was hooked. I made new friends. They were amazing. I found myself in a position where leaders in the field, people whose books I used to read, now gave me their cell phone numbers and have become my personal mentors. I was amazed to see how much everyone seemed so invested in my professional and personal development. It's become like my professional family, and I am forever grateful.
I joined AAAP about 7 years ago when I was a third-year medical student. When I was moving to New York to start my addiction psychiatry fellowship at Columbia, I actually found my membership certificate that was signed by then President Francis Levin, who now is one of my career and research mentors. It's just a small example of the tight-knit community that AAAP has developed and nourishes.
I feel like I owe much of my knowledge about treating patients to what I've gained at AAAP. And I can think of so many fun meetings, but one that really stands out for me was the Las Vegas meeting. But I remember that meeting because that was the beginning of the NYU dinner. We had this idea, it was at some hotel off the strip, of getting a private room and inviting everyone who had anything to do with NYU to come be with us. And we put out the word, and we had arranged for this lovely private room, except by the end of the evening we were overflowing because too many people showed up. But that was the beginning of somehow, at some point, we came together as an NYU group, and of course the Friends of NYU, and we gathered, we toasted Mark and said thanks for starting this fellowship, and we all had a wonderful time. Through AAAP, we've been able to make these friendships and have an organization in which we can come together over something we love to talk about, which is treating patients and how to deal with addiction.
I ended up at AAAP as a poor second-year resident. Brian Hurley and Jeff DeVito let me sleep in their hotel room for free. Dessert with the experts, breakfast with trainees. They got me hooked, and now every year I look forward to that warm conference.
Well, I missed AAAP terribly when my kids were really young. I didn't go for a number of years, and that was so painful. So finally, when they were about 8 or 9, I felt it was okay for me to bring them. And I started bringing them to meetings, and that was the only way that I could get to professional meetings. And that was the only professional meeting that I went to for many, many years was AAAP.
Now, why was that?
Well, because I could bring my kids, and because it was a fun environment, and because other people were bringing their kids. And it was the meeting I didn't want to miss, even during those crazy, hectic child-rearing years. For a number of years, all the big institutions had their dinners, like Columbia had a dinner, and for their people, and Cornell was just a very small institution. So for a number of years, I sort of did an impromptu Cornell dinner, and that was really, really, really a lot of fun.
I've loved AAAP since I started, especially in terms of the networking, meeting specialists in their field, going through the different conferences, and then just the family feeling. Of course, my fondest memory is the idea that at some point I did beat Dr. Tim Fong in golf, although he'll never admit to it. So just know that it's there somewhere, even if it's total delusion.